Welcome back to Analytical Strategy. Today we are looking at 4 really bizarre Final Tribal Council questions within Survivor's history. Now when I think of a strange question, I think of one that will have no impact on the person asking it deciding their vote, or purely making their decision based on luck. Some of these questions are so out of the ordinary, it is hard to know how they came up with them. I'm also looking at questions, rather than statements or pitches to the jury, so just questions only. We are just going to be looking at 4 of these questions, with the top 3 really walking into some strange territory. So just before we get started, I just wanted to quickly thank those who are supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot, it is greatly appreciated, and it does not go unnoticed. However, currently less than 30% of my viewers are subscribed. So if you are enjoying these discussions, please do hit that subscribe button, as it will allow me to continue to make content for you. It'll be very difficult for me to continue to do these frequent videos without this further support. So again, thanks to all who have subscribed so far, and let's get into these strange Final Tribal Council questions. So firstly, we're going to be talking about contestants which ask the finalists to pick a number between 1 and X. So this can include Greg within Borneo, Kelly Wigglesworth within Survivor Cambodia, Kelly Goldsmith within Africa, and Shane within Survivor Panama. So within the very first season of Survivor, the main man Greg asked both Kelly and Rich to pick a number between 1 and 10 before immediately taking his seat again straight away. As the final vote between Kelly and Rich was decided by just one vote, many people thought it was Greg asking this question, which ultimately decided the winner of this season. Kelly then replicated this question in Survivor Cambodia to Spencer, Jeremy, and Tasha, also asking them to pick a number between 1 and 10 before immediately taking her seat, flashing back all the way back to Survivor Season 1 Survivor Borneo. I think in both cases, Greg and Kelly had already made up their minds and were more so doing this for theatre. Greg especially stated that he had already made up his mind to vote for Hatch, and made this question to mock the overly dramatic nature of the Final Tribal Council. Either way, it was really cool to see Season 1 intertwined with Season 31, even if it was within this really strange way. Kelly Goldsmith from Survivor Africa also took on this approach, but was definitely looking for a number to make her final decision, rather than base it on her relationships or gameplay. She asked Ethan and Kim to pick a number between 1 and 1000, and was looking for number 568, the room number from her favourite movie, The Graduate. Shane also did this within Survivor Panama, when he was disappointed that Danielle and Aris were the final 2, and asked them to pick a number between 1 and 1 million to make his decision on his final vote, with Danielle ultimately being closer of the 2. It is definitely hard to imagine casting a vote for $1 million on a game of chance, but that's why it is one of the most strangest Tribal Council questions of all time. So up next, we're going to be talking about Lisi's bizarre questions within Survivor Fiji. So Lisi from Survivor Fiji was obviously just trying to make a mockery of the players sitting in the Final Tribal Council more than anything else. But ironically, she may have made herself look a little petty in the process. Firstly, she addresses Cassandra after an eeny meeny miny mo catch a liar by the toe rhyme. She asks Cassandra to see her water shoes, and stating they are the worst looking water shoes she has ever seen, trying to highlight that Cassandra was not prepared for the game of Survivor. The close-ups of Earl, Jeff, Yao, all the close-ups of the contestants, they are completely baffled by the questions and its relevance to the game. Especially considering these shoes look to be in a completely adequate state given she lasted the full 39 days. Lisi then progressed to call Cassandra greedy, because part of Cassandra's motivation was to get to the end of the game for $1 million. This had some of the jury's heads in their hands. It then continued after this when she talked to Dreams, asking how many zeros are in 1,000,000. Dreams obviously answered this correctly, and then she acted so shocked that he was able to do so. It was quite belittling to the contestants. Lisi then moved on to Earl and criticised him for voting off Yao, and sarcastically stated that smart becomes interchangeable with lying and manipulating. Ironically, in the game of Survivor, yes it absolutely does, with Earl playing one of the greatest games ever and taking out the prize. Truly one of the most baffling Tribal Council speeches in Survivor history. So up next, we're going to be talking about Big Tom's question within Survivor Africa. So the second spot in an extremely tight race has to go to Big Tom's question to Ethan and Kim. So Big Tom verbatim stated, "If a hyena came through camp and he ate our mush, and then after he ate it, he turned around and licked his hind end, did he do it because that was the animal's instinct, or because he wanted to get the taste of the mush out of his mouth?" Now, I don't know what was funnier, Ethan and the jury's reaction to Tom asking this question, or Big Tom just standing there deadpan without even cracking a smile, looking as though he was completely serious. This clearly wasn't the case, as this was a pretty predictable tribal and Ethan had all but secured Tom's vote before coming into it. Tom tried to make the contestants laugh and break the tension, which he definitely achieved. Ethan was able to go along with the joke in his answer, however Kim may have not noticed it was a joke question and tried to answer it completely seriously. It definitely could have taken the title of the strangest final tribal council ever, and it would be great to see these type of moments again in the future. So finally, we're going to be talking about, yes, that is right, it is Natalie Bolton's question from Survivor Micronesia. So I think the number one spot has to go to Natalie Bolton from Micronesia for asking Parvati how her flirtatious ways resonate in the bedroom. This was one of the funniest and most awkward tribal council questions ever. It started off relatively normal, stating Parvati is the queen of playing the flirt card and has been the best to ever do it. But then it escalated quickly by moving into intimate and personal details. Ironically, Parvati was able to flirt her way out of the question by calling Natalie sexy and stating she can use this charm to get what she wants. Natalie later confirmed she knew going into this tribal that Parvati was going to receive her vote no matter what, so she purely just asked this question to try and make Parvati feel embarrassed and make her feel as uncomfortable as possible. Funnily enough, Parvati answered the question masterfully as she does, and Jeff's reaction of, "Do you know what she's talking about?" just made this moment even more fantastic than it already was. So these are just 4 examples of really bizarre and strange final tribal council questions. What is your favourite? What do you think the weirdest question ever asked in a final tribal council setting is? Please let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, please remember to subscribe. This is Analytical Strategy signing out once again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.